Hi friends, we now have another interesting verse from Bhartrhari, the philosopher king. So he is talking about the ways of the world. Generally, how do people behave? So that is what he is saying. So how do people behave towards a very, very rich man? A very rich man is somebody who is cultivated by everyone. A very rich man, a poor man goes to him for help. Some other man goes to him for some other help. Even the king goes to the rich man for some help because the king also needs some money. So rich man is somebody who is cultivated by all. So that is what this poem says. And it almost says, my dear boys, make money because it is a rich man's world. So that is what it says. So we'll read this shloka. यस्यास्ति वित्तं सनरः कुलीनः सपण्डितः सश्रुतवान् गुणज्ञः स एव वक्ता स च दर्शनीयः सर्वे गुणाः काञ्चनमाश्रयन्ति. This last line is so well quoted quite often. Sarve gunah kanchanam ashrayanti. Kanchanam means gold. Kanchanam ashrayanti. All gunas, all virtues, they surrender before money. All virtues are there in a moneyed person. So kanchanam ashrayanti. All gunas, they take shelter under money. What does it mean? All virtues, they take shelter under money. What does it mean? That if you have money, or people attribute all virtues to you. What are all the virtues that people attribute? So first thing is, yasyasti vittam sanarah kulinah. A person who has money, he is regarded as a person of great nobility. Oh, he is such a noble man. Kulinah. He is from a great, family. He is from such a noble family. So he is treated like that. Suppose somebody, some Swamiji or some man comes. So he doesn't allow ordinary people to come near him. So he will allow only some selected people to come near him. But if there is a moneyed person there, if somebody who is having money, so he will be asked to come and sit in the front row. So yasyasti vittam sanarah kulina, he becomes a kulina. He comes and sits there in the front row. Then sa panditaha, he is also treated as a scholar. So panditaha, so you come across various people. A rich man, he writes some poems. A poor poet may be there writing a good, very, very great work, a very great poem, but then this poor man's poem is never published. A rich man is there, he writes some useless, he does some useless versification, and he prints his book in such a glossy way. It can be, in fact, a tabletop book. So we have come across such people who write some, books. Particularly now in India, we find somebody whose grandmother has written some small songs. So the person sitting in USA, somewhere in USA, he respects his grandmother, so he prints that book in such a glossy manner and then distributes to people. So she is treated as a pandita. Of course, this is out of love he does it. Okay, let us not take that example. We can take the example of a rich man who wants to display his, linguistic skills or, the skills in literature. So, or he is invited to give some keynote address. Suppose there is some conference, he is asked to come and give some sort of keynote address, or he will read out his poems, and all people applaud him because you have already committed $1 million to that organization. So he becomes a pandita. Sashrutavan, so he is treated as person who is a highly virtuous person. Shrutavan means not virtuous, learned. Shruti means scripture. Shrutavan means one who is highly learned. Then gunajnaha. Gunajnaha means what? He is a person who is highly virtuous. Gunajna can mean two things also. Gunajna is somebody who knows the greatness of others. That is, guna means a character, a good trait. So he knows the value of people. He is, let us say, he is a connoisseur of arts. We use the word called connoisseur of arts. A person of eclectic taste, we say. A person who has such wide knowledge in so many things, a person of eclectic taste who is such connoisseur of arts, he knows how to appreciate arts, he knows how to appreciate dance, classical dance, he knows how to appreciate classical music. So this gentleman, he may not have any knowledge in all these things, but then he is called there, and then if he says something about some classical music, if suddenly this man is asked to speak about Tyagaraja or Beethoven or some such people, so he will say something and then that is praised, applauded by all the people. So he is a gunajna. So he is treated as a great person. He is a gunajna. Gunajna means a person who is able to detect, who is able to appreciate virtue, a person who has that ability to appreciate gunas. Then Sayeva Vakta, he is the most articulate man. He is the most articulate man, he is the great orator. Vakta is orator. So whatever he says, he may be fumbling for words, but then he is treated as a great orator. Oh, he gave such a great speech. We come across leaders now and then, because the leader who is the son of some so and so, say VIP. So his son, suppose a person is the son of the prime minister, let us say, son of so and so. So this fellow, he may not be able to say anything. This man may be zero in his wisdom. But even then, when he goes, all other people, they go and then they touch his feet. So that is what we see in India. So in all other places it is same. So Sayeva Vakta, he is the person. You give some $1 million to some university, that university gives you a seat in some postgraduate course or anything like that. So that is what happens all over the world. Sayeva Vakta, sacha darshaniyaha. Darshaniyaha means a person who is fit to look at, a handsome person. Darshaniyaha. Darshanam means what? Darshanam means seeing, vision. Darshanam is vision. Darshaniya means worth looking at. A person who commands your attention. Such a darshaniya, he may be wearing all nice beautiful clothes, etc. And he is the man who is invited to all the fashion shows. Probably he can also go into the green room and have photographs with those people. So this is the type of people whom we find. A very, very rich man, he is the man who can walk into the say green room and then have some pictures. So we have been reading about these things very recently in the papers. So sacha darshaniyaha sarve gunaha kanchanam ashrayanti. All these virtues, they surrender before kanchanam. So what is ultimately Bhartruhari saying? The poet, ultimately, he is not cynical. We should remember that the poet is not cynical. Bhartruhari has several shlokas like this. But then it is not out of cynicism. He is only telling the ways of the world. He is only saying how the world behaves. And a wise man, he has to understand that world. He should not become, say, dejected. Oh, these are the ways of the world. Suppose you are a great poet and your poetry is not applauded. Suppose you go to a meeting and in that meeting of poets, you read out poetry and then people just, okay, it is all right, you are heard, that's all. Some other rich man is there and then he recites his poems and then all people applaud. You should not feel bad because you understand he is a rich man. So this is Bhartruhari's poem is not meant to make us cynical. It is only meant to make us understand the realities of the world. So that is what we see here. Here, of course, there are no great points of grammar. Yasya asti vittam. Vittam means money. Kulina. Kulina means born in a noble family. Kula, kulina. Kula means a family. Kulina means belonging to a high class, let us say. Aristocratic class. Yeah, that is the right word. A person, he is a person belonging to an aristocratic class. Then sa panditaha. He is the man who is a scholar. Shrutavan gunajnaha. Darshaniyaha. I told you darshaniya. It is called aniyar pratyaya. Darshana, aniyar, darshaniya. Darshaniyaha. Sarve gunaha kanchanam ashrayanti. So let us read it. Yasyasti vittam sanarah kulinaha.
Yasyasti vittam sanarah kulinaha.
Sapanditasya shrutavan gunajnaha.
Sapanditasya shrutavan gunajnaha.
Sayeva vakta sacha darshaniyaha.
Sayeva vakta sacha darshaniyaha.
Sarve gunah kanchanam ashrayanti.
Sarve gunah kanchanam ashrayanti.
Fine.